I've been playing with N8N AI Builder very recently after the rollout. So let me go through this completely from a scratch, from a very no code perspective on how you could be building N8N workflows from just natural language. So very recently they rolled out their AI workflow builder. I think they were already in the talks of building this out. Some of the people might have got access, like got a early access to it, but yeah, very recently they rolled it out to their cloud accounts. So if you want to explore this functionality or the feature set, you basically need to have a N8N cloud account. So you can pretty much go to N8N cloud, and then you can just log in to their account, maybe create a quick account. It's easy. You don't need to, they give like quite good 14 days free trial to test everything up. So you can pretty much sign up for that. And then once you sign up for it, basically you also need to do one more thing, which is upgrade to the latest beta version that they have. So it's something around 1.116. There are, by default you could be on something like 115, which is like a stable beta, sorry, it's a stable release, and then you have to basically upgrade it to 116. Once you do that, it might ask you to restart the server and all of that, which is fine. So you do that, and then you basically go to the your N8N instance. Okay, so this is my N8N instance. Now I've got everything set up over here. I was playing around with the AI builder. I kind of built this something called as a Slack notification system with traces, with basically distinguishes the email inboxes. So I'll be explaining how you can build it using AI. So you create a workflow, okay, and then there are two options that you see when you create a workflow. So the first is more of a manual way to do it. I have been doing this a very, I've built like multiple agents on my YouTube channel, and I'm, quite good to building these agents now because I've also done like for a few clients. So this was kind of an old way, and then the new way is basically building everything with AI. So what we need to do is just test this part out. You know, so once you click on this, you basically get to see this window, which is kind of a UI that you are very much familiar to now these days. It's more of a UI that any of the code editors like Cursor, or let's say, Replit, or even a bunch of code editors like Windsurf or Copilot would have. So you basically could just type it in natural language, which is plain English, and then everything gets to build out for you right in front of you. So there are a few things. You have got few modes over here, which is ask mode, which I feel if you need some information about a specific node, or let's say if you want to change some nodes here and there, you can do that. Okay, and then there is the actual build mode that lets you play around with all of the nodes or all the workflows. So without further ado, let's get straight into experimenting with this AI workflows. So let me just start with lead qualification and call scheduling. So I think it's a good use case to get AI for use. Okay, so basically, when you click on any of the tabs, you get a full-fledged prompt written by N8N. So let me just go through the prompt itself. So create a form with fields for email, company, and role. Build an automation that processes form submissions, enrich which company data from their website, use AI to qualify the lead, send data to Google Sheet. For high score leads, it should also schedule a 15-minute call in the free slot, and then basically it just books a slot in the calendar as well, and send a confirmation email to both, that is the lead and the actual whoever we set the meeting for. Okay, so this is quite a good prompt. And then they also show, and by the way, every single workflow that you create does charge a credit. So you can see your credits over here. For a free account, they gave like I think 20 roughly credits, 20 monthly credits. You can again add more to it, but I think for time being it works for us to test this out. So let us just quickly build this out. When I click on just start, on the left hand side, I see a working button, which is kind of and now it basically tries to search the nodes. And what is trying to do is, because N8N has got incredibly good documentation. If you go to N8N docs, okay, there were docs across all the node. They've got docs across all the steps, all the parameters that you could possibly pass to a node. Um, and what I suppose they have done is specifically train their AI chatbot, the AI workflow builder, onto all of these nodes. So there you see all of the nodes which are essentially going to be part of our AI workflow are just laid out over here. And I do think it's trying to connect the nodes. And there you see all of the nodes are again got connected. Uh, and the only red ones that I see is mostly on the connection issues. But we'll have to test it again. And then once this is done, it's trying to refine all the nodes that we have, and it's trying to put it up everything as a AI workflow. Okay, so let's wait for, like, I think it should be done in the next 30-40 seconds. I'll just give it a quick go. And then what I see is, if I had to build out this workflow for my client, I would literally have to take out all the steps to drag and drop, decide on what nodes to what nodes to pick, and all of that, right? But since I just did a quick prompt, it basically did a quick check on which nodes are the best to pick, and then just put it out there for my use case to implement. And then the good thing is, you basically get a checklist of how to set up, which means you have got all the things that you need to do, basically all the things that you need to set up to get this workflow up and running. So there you go. You have it says that complete these steps before executing your flow. I absolutely need to set up the OpenAI credential. I also need to have some sort of lead, what do you call, some sort of credentials for the Google lead, the Google sheet as well, and then Google Calendar. All of them have to set up as well. So this was quite good. Let me just quickly go through the workflow as well. So you have a form in over here, which is a lead submission form that has got authentication setup, the title setup, the form description setup, all through AI. It also pulled out the fields that we need, gave the required ones, all of that, and then it tried to give a action of what to do exactly when the form gets submitted. We basically have a button as well. What is the label of that button? And then you have a set node, which basically sets the lead score, the meeting duration, which was 15 minutes. And I do see there are these placeholder values that are there, which you need to actually fill in based on your account and the use case. And then you have a HTTP node that basically gets to pass some sort of URL, and I suppose this is a company URL or something, right? Which is the fetch company website, okay, whatever we have. And it is a get response, a get method. It's trying to set all the basic parameters. And then we have a AI agent node. And a very good thing that I found particularly interesting is, because you need to literally do a lot of prompting to get this done. The prompting is done for you using AI. So it gave you a system prompt. It also passed up the input values. It also decided on what exactly do we need to do with this. So it is quite good at the at the end. But yeah, you do need to set up the credentials. Likewise, you need to set up the OpenAI credentials. You need to set up the Google Sheets credentials. Here you see the ID that you need to pass. I think to some sense, what I do feel is it did figure out 90% of what the AI workflow matches with your overall use case. But yeah, you do need to jump in and just set up those credentials properly to get this up and working. So this is quite good. Let me also do a quick demo, quick, probably another build on to some other agent. So let me just go back. Okay. I'll just do a quick, maybe let's go to a new workflow, create a personal workflow. And this time, probably let's do a RAG knowledge assistant. So RAG is, a retrieval augmented generation, which is a way to pull all the data from a specific source and then just summarize it up as a chatbot. So build a pipeline that accepts the PDF, CSV, and JSON files through N8N form. Chunk the documents into 100, so basically 1,000 tokens segments. Generate embeddings, store it in a vector database. These are quite technical terms, to be honest. Somebody who is building a AI agent through a natural language even has to know exactly what he plans to do with it, right? So this is quite good. Let us just quickly run through it. And I see for each workflow to basically build, we need a credit, that basically a credit gets consumed. So which is fine. I don't know how they roll it out for the self-hosted users. So I'm curious to know on that as well, because I heavily use the self-hosted version. So let us just quickly build this out. Again, same thing. It's going through the syncing node. I also want to. I'm very curious on which actually model are they using to power all of this, because it is quite good. You see, if I want to ask some sort of information on a specific node, it helps me do and get all the answers based on load. While it is still in beta, again the same thing. They rolled out the data tables very recently, which was one of the feature that I explain into my channel on my channel. So it is quite good. I think we definitely need to see where it goes, and I'm pretty much so I'm very confident on how this will pan out. It's trying to connect the nodes and all of that. This step, some of the tools have failed. Agent will retry. So you see, we also have a retry mechanism in place. So this is how you can use AI Builder to just start building whatever you need, whatever you have been thinking of. But yeah, do make sure that you have got access to a bit of information. What exactly are you planning to build? Because you know to a layman, building few pieces here and there could be a good example, but again you have to know some gritty nitty gritty of exactly how it works, behind the scenes. That's it from the video. If you need any help with your N8N workflows, do reach me out. And by the way, I also run a Go Build with AI community, which is a community of AI builders, specifically the agent builders, wherein I teach, AI agents, how to build AI agents, and the N8N mastery course that I have on my community. So you can absolutely join it for free. I'm not going to get paid any of that. But yeah, if you like the video, please, just help us with like and subscribe the channel. Thank you.